I'm Andrew.
I'm Kevin.
Welcome to Brojects. This weekend, Kevin and I are building a harvest table and having people down for a feast.
This is actually fairly easy.
Easy to get wrong.
Can you pass the potatoes?
This is insanity big.
We get a bunch of people coming down expecting a harvest dinner.
What we're looking for is to have a more refined type of party, and it all starts with a nice table and a nice dinner.
To make our dining pool table, we'll begin by building a maple veneered plywood top that will lock in place using pegs aligned with our homemade jig. Walnut trim around the edge will give it a refined look and also add some support.
For seating, we'll repurpose old church pews and modify them to better suit our table's height. While over top, we'll make a classic pool table lamp out of barn board that will double as a dining room chandelier. Finally, we'll deck the table with a bunch of billiards-themed centerpieces and serving utensils.
With plenty of guests expecting a fancy dinner party, we'll have to cook up a storm in order to throw the ultimate harvest feast.
The plywood sheets are a lot more money than the regular plywood we use, so you have to measure twice. Generally, we measure once and cut twice, but we wanted to do it right this time.
Do you have the instructions for that?
So we just had to cut down the plywood to make it reasonable. Left ourselves a few inches overhang all around the perimeter, so you can get your knees under the table. Not too bad. It's a better looking width for a table for sure.
Oh, totally. When we got our measurements and started trimming it down, now it looks a lot more sensible. Now I can reach the middle of it.
I think the first thing we got to do is get some measurements going, figure out how we're going to do this.
Walker and I really overthought putting all the plywood together.
And we have to join it too. So we'll need like those dowels.
You have to just get the dowels perfect.
Well, we make a jig.
We made this jig and we spent like probably an hour making the jig.
What I'm trying to do is get these holes to line up with these dowels. You have one that sticks out and the other one has a receiver, and then lines all your table up.
Why don't we snip that off and put a positive stop? So when we're sliding this down, we hit the same stop place every time. Kevin and I lifted the thing up, put little bumpers on them so that they would get above the pockets, went and did the dowels.
The jig really worked well. It had a little peephole in it so we could line it up nicely.
How's it look?
Good. I was expecting the table to be all wonky when we put it together, and for once, we got it right.
That fits absolutely perfectly.
So I think what we're looking for in this build is basically to class the place up a little bit with a nicer piece of furniture than we've usually built.
Think it's big enough? We're going to need a giant lazy Kevin just to circulate the stuff around.
Luckily, we have one. And to have a more refined type of party.
Getting all fancy when you get in decorator mode,
Tell you what, man, let's harvest dinner. Come on.
You know, maybe some witty banter, things like that. And it all starts with, you know, a nice table and a nice dinner. Do you think anybody's going to come? We're all dressed up, and there's no one here.